Hey guys, Monster Face here, bringing us another Fortnite Battle Royale video. In today's video, we'll be taking a look at a crazy ending where we drop 17 kills, but most importantly, I believe we take on a 1v8 right in this scene here to then go ahead and wrap up the last 3-man squad and seal the deal for victory. This video is important because I think we are currently in the process of shaking up the meta. After engaging on a team here, I'll talk to you guys why things are kind of shaking up in Fortnite and how things are definitely evolving in the Fortnite Battle Royale scene. You'll also notice that I'm going to be running 2 different camera angles, one from the live gameplay and one from the cinematic replay system, which we did have a vote on. So thank you guys for voting. And this is what we ended up deciding with. We're going to do a little bit of both and see how you guys like it. See if you guys thought it was worth the effort and of course, hop right into it. You guys may have already noticed a couple things as I got into this defensive tactic. Now, what I mean by shaking up the meta, I'm definitely talking about these spike traps here. The effectiveness of spike traps in these big building battles is crucial. Notice here that the first player I pretty much baited into entering into my little playhouse, into my battlefield here, and he walks right into the trap. Also, as I was approaching my defensive stand here, notice that I also took 2 planks back. By that, I mean I put a wall, a ramp, then stepped behind another wall and put myself behind that little box fort. And that's just to increase the amount of structures between me and my opponents. Definitely super effective for those of you guys out there looking to solo B squad. Now, as things kind of break out here, we go into a full-on ramp rush, ramp battle. But notice that I'm going to take a different approach. I'm going to pretty much continuously rig up this fort with different types of spike traps and basically not take it to the sky because I do not have a lot of resources. Instead, I'm going to use my mats and my resources to fight in what I would call a maze, almost strictly constructed from my own materials that I can basically edit. All of these planks here were created by me. Everything on this side of the field was created by me, which means I have full and proper control over all of the edits here. That means that if my opponent gets trapped inside of this maze, he is not going to be able to go anywhere. And if I get stuck at any point in this fight, I shouldn't have any problem editing my way out. And this is because instead of building higher and wasting resources of going to the skybox, basically, which most intense fights kind of break out to, I instead play the low ground, make it a very wide battlefield down here. And then, like I said before, rig it with different types of traps. It's a different type of technique that you can look into, especially when you don't have a lot of resources. If your opponents end up obviously pushing very high above you and decide to sit there, well, you can also decide to kind of stay down low and play the low ground and kind of bait them down anyways. Most players are going to get impatient and definitely come after you no matter what, even if you do have some traps thrown around. This will also just increase the likelihood of these enemies looking to fire shots at walls to break them, which in turn will allow you to pinpoint your enemies a little bit more precisely. It's very hard already to determine where the enemies are, so finding any methods to force your opponent into pretty much coming out of their cover or looking for you in some way, shape, or form is definitely going to be super helpful. So you can pretty much see from this fight that things are breaking out like crazy, but I'm definitely deploying a bunch of tactics. I'm using my 1v1 shotgun tactics in each of these battles. I'm playing the right-hand camera angle as often as I can. And of course, I'm manipulating my way through every part of the base here. As I took care of one team, another team came following shortly after. This is the unpredictability of Fortnite. You never really know what's going to happen in this game. You can be pushed by one player, multiple players, and obviously even no players at times. When you want the battle the most, sometimes it's like you don't even get it, and we all kind of feel that way. But let's go ahead and talk a little bit more about shaking up the meta. Like I told you guys at the start of this video, I definitely do believe that Fortnite is in an evolving state right now. With the changes Epic Games are bringing to the combat system, I'm pretty much all for defensive playstyle right now. The aggressor in Fortnite right now is pretty much getting penalized, which players like myself who play a lot more defensively are starting to shine a little bit more in these combat fields. Today, I actually ended up dropping 3 17-kill games within a short period of time, which for some people may not be a lot, but for some others may feel like the world to them. And to me, in all honesty, dropping a 17-kill game consistently multiple times in the same day just feels darn right good. I think a lot of it is to play because of the fact that guns are a little bit slower, combat's a little bit slower, and people really have to make the optimal decision when it comes down to counter-firing and battling your enemies. The only way you can even counter-fire at the current moment is, of course, if you set yourself up for the fight. For those people that are used to pretty much pulling off the shotgun instantaneously and getting right up in players' faces, it's definitely a little bit different. Now you have to charge up your pushes, time your counterfights, and really have to play it a lot more smarter, especially considering how different it feels to combat with the shotgun right now. So in this video here, I'm actually running a single pump shotgun. I've always been a single pump shotgun kind of player, but now it shines even more because of the different pace of the game. It allows me to pretty much set up my fights and then decide and determine when I'm going to go ahead and pull the trigger back on my enemies. Or pretty much I'm catching them more often than not mid-weapon swap, or just not really prepared for the amount of pressure that I'm able to apply in the current patch. So once again, if you're not already using spike traps in the middle of battle, you definitely want to make sure you are not spamming your traps, but placing them in proper and strategic locations, such as underneath ramp areas when you go into turtle mode. Also try to restrict the number of traps you spam down in combat. The more traps you can save, obviously the better for you. You can space them out throughout the maze that you are creating in combat. This maze defensive style strategy is super effective when you are low on resources. And by low, I mean just a couple hundred. There's obviously going to be times when you don't have any resources to build. That's always a sucky situation to be in. But this is catered to the more of the, you got resources, but not hundreds and hundreds of resources to take it to a crazy big build battle. Not to the sky, at least. At least here, you'll be able to work your way through your layers and edit your way through just about every single piece and structure. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video where we take a look at a crazy intense building battle, and I pretty much take you guys through my mind and how I feel on the developing state of Fortnite. My name is Monster Deface. Don't forget to like this video and of course subscribe and comment if you enjoyed what you saw, and stay tuned for some more updates by turning on those notifications. Big thanks to anyone that stopped by my Twitch channel and watched this one live. That's obviously where the footage was originally recorded and then captured back on the replay system. I hope to see you guys in the next video, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace. Oh, let's go, baby! Woo! First game, new patch. Oh, let's go, baby! Easy money, easy money. We win those, baby. We win those. We win those.